Hey, what's up guys? It's ElasticSpyder here, and today I have a teamwork video. It's yet another one. And today, me and Puddin are going to be playing in our Tier 9 battleship for Puddin, the Friedrich der Große, and I will be playing in the famous cruiser, the Roon. Now I apologize for some background noises. For whatever reason, I had my microphone recording while I was recording this replay, so I do apologize for that. If you hear some weird sounds, that was me doing stuff in the recording. So I apologize for that. Tried to cut it out as much as possible. But as I said, Puddin's going to be pushing in his Freddy, as he likes to call it, and I'll kind of use that as what he calls it. But he's pushing into Objective Alpha. I've come along with him. However, I started to turn away. And Puddin's got his Hydro because he did see a destroyer. Takes quite a big hit there from probably the North Carolina, but he will be able to heal that back up. No problem. So he's got a Scharnhorst chasing him and pushing him. So he's definitely going to turn away, especially when he sees Fubuki torpedoes coming towards him. At this point, I've kind of been behind him, and at this point, I'm like, well, I'm probably going to have to turn away completely soon or try and help him and take some of the damage. So, we'll just have to see and wait until I do. Now, the Scharnhorst kind of does make a mistake here on trying to push Puddin. You can see both sides. He wants to kill Puddin, but German battleships, when they're running away, are very, very hard to kill. Really, you can only kill him with fire. You can get some pretty significant AP damage into their superstructure, but with this big of a tier difference, the secondaries on the Freddy will just completely melt a Scharnhorst in this case. So, and you'll see Puddin will rack up quite a bit of secondary hits throughout this engagement, which will probably go on for a little longer. But right now, me personally, I am turning around, gonna try and push the Scharnhorst off of Puddin and try and give him support because he is already down to half HP. Most of their team is over here. At least 5 or 6 of their teammates are over here, so it is gonna be an uphill battle with only 3 of us here. So. But Puddin does manage to kill that Scharnhorst right here. I tell him, Puddin, keep going in your direction. I will keep heading so we don't collide. And he does get a very, very nice double citadel on that Edinburgh. So I'm gonna start moving. I took, I believe, a citadel, and now we are on to my gameplay. So I get spotted here. I have AP loaded, and oh boy. Torpedoes. I am not running Hydro just because I feel like defensive fire is a little bit more useful in random battles because you do see a lot more carriers. So that's why I chose Hydro, or I chose defensive fire rather over Hydro. But it's really up to you. Hydro definitely would have helped me there. Those torpedoes probably were going for our North Carolina or maybe even Puddin to an extent. So, I'm shooting at the Ibuki and get a decent hit on him, and then the Edinburgh gets spotted. So, unleash a salvo off on him, and I'm kind of switching targets quite frequently because, as you can see, I bounced most of my shells. I got a couple overpens, but I did get some decent damage. And here I don't actually realize it. And then I'm like, wait, I'm getting secondary shell hits. And then I remember Puddin here saying, dude, DD to your front. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, there is a DD. There's a smoke cloud too. Again, here Hydro would be perfect because I'm charging a smoke screen. And I can see all the torpedoes coming my way. However, I am going to change my course quite frequently here because I know that Fubuki is probably going to drop torps. Or he is getting ready to when I am spotted, because now I just got spotted. So, what do? I turn in, and then all those torpedoes will go awry, and I won't have to deal with them. This Fubuki is in some bad doo-doo right now. I have switched to HE. The AP is quite potent for destroyers because you can get a lot of actual good penetrations, but generally you just want HE just to break modules and other things, just so that the destroyer has a harder time. And I don't know about many of you, but when I see a big thing, when I get hit, I see heavy damage and I see a bunch of modules breaking, I get a little nervous. But so that's another reason why you kind of always want to go with HE. Kind of a bit of a fear tactic. But I am actually going to be pushing into 3 or 4 guys here. I'm determined to kill this Fubuki because my team really needs them dead. We are losing quite poorly now. 5 ships to their 5 ships left on our team compared to their, I believe, 10, almost something like that. But they have a big ship advantage, or maybe it's closer to 7. But this should finish the Fubuki off, and it does. My first kill of the game. Meanwhile, Puddin has been healing, and he is pushing up into Objective Alpha because no one's there. I killed a Fubuki. No more destroyers on their team. So he's gonna cap while I am distracting their fleet. There's some pretty weird things going on with this recording. I also apologize for that. I'm not too sure as to why that is, but for whatever reason, it was glitching. I think it might have to do with it's going from 13.0 to 13.1 or something. Because this is about a week old. Been a bit busy, but want to get this awesome game out to you guys. Me and Puddin kind of carried the team. We both had over 100,000 damage each, and we started we killed a lot of the ships. So I'm gonna try and kill this Edinburgh with my AP. For whatever reason, I wasn't able to penetrate on some of those shells because, as many of you may know, the Edinburgh only has, I believe, 14 inches of bow armor. I get my torpedoes off. I aim slightly off the gray thing, the gray target indicator, and as you can see, I got 4 torpedo hits. I did that because I knew that he had momentum going into his turn, so he wasn't going to be able to turn on a dime, and I end up getting that kill. Puddin, now switching to his perspective, gets a big old citadel on the Iowa. He was probably shooting at the Iowa previously and probably got some very, very good hits, but I thought my part was a little bit more exciting, going up against 2 or 3 ships at once. So Puddin is going to try and capture this, and yeah, he's going to try and capture this and kill the Edinburgh. I do warn him here that the Edinburgh does have, I believe, 8-kilometer torpedoes, or it can go up to 10. So I believe it can stealth torp. So but I just told Puddin, watch out. This guy was last spotted just behind that island. He could have launched torpedoes since you did just shoot, and he gets spotted there by the Edinburgh. Puddin shoots and 2 overpans. Now you guys will get to see here the awesomeness of the British repair party, and there are the torpedoes I spoke about earlier. Puddin's secondaries are just going off on this guy, but he is still healing. I remember Puddin saying here, I apologize for the language, I believe it was die fuckbag, something like that. It was I just died of laughter. Something along those lines, but gets a citadel and gets the kill. Apologize for a bit of the foul language, but hey, it's in the heat of the moment and things happen. Either way. Now we have brought this game back from what was presumably a loss, and we have now reduced their team's ship count from very in their favor to more in our favor. and it's now a 4v3. Now a 4v2 with that Citadel and that kill. So Puddin's getting shot at by this Chapayev, and he will be letting this fire burn. It's only one fire. Pretty much never put out one fire unless you're gonna be going into cover next and there's no threat of you taking any more damage. That's really the only time I'd recommend putting out one fire for a battleship. Another argument could be if you're in smoke, but there's always the threat of torpedoes because, as many of you may know if you've played ranked, smoke screens equal torpedo magnets, so you do have to be careful doing that. Puddin is going to be pushing into B and gonna try and get another cap. He did get a solo cap in a battleship, which is pretty impressive. Usually you don't really see that too often. Sometimes you get assisted caps, but to get a full one, that's very, very nice. He is up to 139,000 damage. I ended with about 113, I believe. So he is doing very, very well for himself. And he will be quickly switching over to this Baltimore. He pops Hydro. Oh no, he pops his heal, excuse me. Thought it was Hydro. I'm like, wait, why would he need Hydro? The Chapayev doesn't have long range torpedoes, but either way, he could pop it just for shits and giggles, I guess. But yep, he's going to, as soon as Baltimore gets spotted, he's going to probably shoot at him and try and get Kraken, because it looks like he is on a, I can't really see this, but such a low resolution, but he does have quite a few kills, and the more kills the better, right? Of course. His secondary is already shooting over the mountain, which is a bit surprising because I know sometimes when I'm in my turrets or Gneisenau out, sometimes that they don't shoot over the mountains, or even my Yamato, I guess, too. They won't shoot over the mountain, but so that's nice, I guess, that his is. And there you go. There's the Kraken that I was speaking of earlier. And now Puddin's going to be hopefully trying to get this guy before the game ends. It's going to be really close. I remember I was using the 3D, or not 3D, the free cam, and I was right above the Chapayev, kind of helping Puddin narrow down his shots. Not that he needs it, but just for fun, I guess. But the closer Puddin gets, the more deadly he gets, because that is a very common theme with the German battleships. They are up close and personal brawlers, and his secondary is already going apeshit. Puddin elects to not repair the fire, and hopefully you can get one more shot off. This might be the last one. Waiting for him to turn, get those two front guns shooting. He starting his turn. Puddin gets a full broadside off, and he will not kill him. It won't kill him, but he still did amazing. 150,000 damage, lots of credits, a Kraken, lots of other things. He came in first. I came in third. Got plenty of kills, and here are some of his damage statistics. I did 111,000 damage, good credits. Got Flesh Wound and Devastating Strike. Again, here's my damage, and that's about it from ElasticSpyder here. I hope you guys enjoyed.